November Platica. Welcome to our November Platicas event. I am Luz Hoyt, your faculty advisor for the Latinx Students Business Club. Today we have a very special guest from CSUMB Business and Accounting faculty. Our host, the Latinx Students Business Club executive team, will introduce themselves and then we will follow and we will continue with our agenda. Take it away.
Hello, I am Tiffany Hoyt. I am the Latinx Business Student Club Treasurer. Our goal in the club is to foster business student community and help our business students achieve their educational goals. Thank you so much to CSUMB for coming, and thank you to our Title V Director, Ann Endres. And now I have the great honor to introduce my executive team.
Hi, how are you? Good evening. My name is Linda Winters. I am the president of the Latinx Business Student Club. Thank you very much for coming and being our guest.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Karen Sebastian Reyes. I am the vice president for the Business Club. And thank you guys so much for having us here as well.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Maria Rocha, and I'm the recruiter from our Latino Business Club. And it's an honor to be here tonight. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. And now we continue with our agenda. I want to pass it to Xuan.
Sure. Dr. Bonai, do you want to introduce yourself? She's our chair.
Hi, everybody. I apologize that I'm not better lit and that I have a dog on my lap, but it's really a pleasure to get a chance to just make a few quick remarks before the people who know stuff can talk. I'm in the College of Business, and right now, as Sharon mentioned, I'm the department chair. And so I'll be happy to answer any questions at the end if anybody has any questions, but we're just so grateful to have the faculty here who can tell you about all the wonderful programs. And I think first up, let's see, is it going to be Professor Angel Gonzalez, who's going to talk about the Sustainable Hospitality major. Angel, are you ready to go?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you. I'm really happy to be here with you and share with you a little bit about our program in the sustainable hospitality area. This is a very important industry in our region, as you all know, tourism. And I do have a brief presentation I'd like to share. So let me go ahead and put that in the screen for you.
Everybody from the CSUMB, I have made them co-host. If you're not a co-host, please let me know.
Great. And you can all see the slideshow? Great. Okay. So our program is within the College of Business. We have about 50 students, so it's considered a small program. Our classes are relatively small in groups, which is great. We have a lot of access to create, a collaboration, teamwork, get to know each other. If I know that a student is interested in a particular area and I hear of a position that's available, I will connect that student. So it's really great to have around 20 students per class. So it's considered small and even less at times. Our faculty is composed of 5 people. So we have our director, Dr. Buren, and Natalia. She works at the aquarium full time, and she teaches with us a couple of different classes in tourism. And I'll go over the 2 concentrations in a moment. We have Gretchen Melvin from Pebble Beach, and she's focused on event management. And she teaches the classes that have to do with our experience at Pebble Beach for our students, which I'll also tell you in a moment. We have Alexis Lee, our professor focused on event management and also some hospitality and tourism classes, and myself. I teach operations management within hospitality. I teach the capstone, which is strategic management, restaurant management, and also hotel management. So that's our faculty in a nutshell. We do have areas of concentration that I'll go over that will make a lot of sense when we get there. Just to give you a little background, Monterey County has two major industries. One, agriculture, as we all know, and it does have to do with food. And then the other one is tourism and hospitality. There you also have the food elements, event management. You have all kinds of lodging operations. So there's a lot of jobs in the area and a lot of potential for generating revenues. So it's very important for a region from all sides of suppliers to the industry, like the agricultural sector, to obviously putting food at the table by servers, and managing those resources becomes really important. And that's what we do teach in our program, how to become a manager within this important industry. So it's really, really a region that's rich in opportunities, and also it creates a living laboratory. When we talk about internships, for example, we'll be there in a moment in the presentation. Just to share with you, because I know time is of an essence here, some statistics and numbers that make the case for how important this industry is to our region and to our state. We're talking billions of dollars that come from people spending in the tourism and hospitality sector. So it's a lot of money that moves hands, and we have a lot of excellent properties out there that are constantly looking for managers. So coming to our program, graduating successfully from the program with experience, in a way guarantees that you're going to get a job as a manager when you graduate. We have a pretty high rate of students that have graduated that are working full-time as managers in the area. Employers like the Hyatt, Regency in Monterey, Pebble Beach, they hire a lot of our students when they graduate. So again, a very important area for tourism and hospitality. And if you want to move away for some reason, I don't know why you would, Monterey is so great. Our industry is available all around the world. So we have students, right now we have a student in Switzerland. We have students in places like Chicago working. So there's a lot of opportunities elsewhere where tourism and hospitality is equally as important. We have the world famous Monterey Bay Aquarium, and you see a photo of it in this slide. We talk about conservation and sustainability in our program, and that makes us different. We partner with different industry players in the area that really make a point and really strive to make hospitality and tourism a sustainable industry. We know that traditionally it hasn't been the case, so we're trying to change that, and our students really understand how important it is. As resources get depleted, we have to do things differently in our industry. Otherwise, we have a potential to produce a lot of waste. So we try to incorporate new ideas, new systems, new techniques, so that our students graduate with a wealth of knowledge on how to be sustainable managers within tourism and hospitality. Our program has a focus from the get-go on sustainability, on responsible business, as you'll hear from other presenters tonight. We basically focus on that in every class, and also in the traditional sense of how we run hotels, but looking for how to make it better than it normally is in terms of running a hotel and not using as many resources if we can avoid it. In terms of having a solid business foundation, our courses were built on the pathway for business. So we have a business core that you will take. So you will take accounting, finance, marketing, and so on, which will make you really prepared to run the property that you're going to be working at afterwards. Or if you want to go and own a property, you will be knowledgeable in the areas of business as well as hospitality. We have professional training. We require all of our students to go through an internship. Plus, all your faculty in the program has worked in the industry as managers before joining academia. And some of them do. Like I mentioned, Gretchen Melvin from Pebble Beach. She's an event manager currently. Natalia is a guest experience manager at the aquarium. So we all have experience or have worked in the past in the hospitality industry, and we bring that to the classroom. Plus, we bring guest speakers, and you'll see some slides later. We visit different operations in every semester, and we go with our club or we go with our classes to make sure our students understand the reality of the hospitality businesses. Like I said, we champion sustainability. So we always focus through that lens on how can we improve what's being done? How can we do it differently? Of course, to be profitable, but also to help people, help the environment. So that's all really what we focus on, other than the aspect of running the businesses in hospitality. And then I mentioned the practical expertise that you'll gain by working in the industry, by doing your internships, which are required. And we do have a requirement for experience as well, other than the internship, that will be starting next year. So that's aligned with all the hospitality programs that are renowned in the US that require a range of hours in work experience within hospitality. And if you have questions, I'm more than open to talking to you individually, communicating through email, just to clarify certain things. Because of time, I'm trying to be as quick as I can. We have two concentrations, sustainable hospitality and event management. And that's what we call our operations and hospitality focused concentration, where you'll learn about running hotels, restaurants, event space, planning events, executing events successfully with a sustainable focus. And then we have the tourism concentration and destination management from a sustainable point of view. For those interested in marketing destinations through a convention bureau or working within the regulatory side of tourism, statistical analysis during that effort to bring people to a location, advertising, and all of that. So that concentration is a little bit different. It does offer an option in ecotourism, which a lot of people are definitely interested in. When you look at places like Big Sur, people that go to Costa Rica seeking adventure. So that's more along the lines of that offering. I mentioned a little bit already on the sustainable hospitality and event management concentration. I'm just going to say one more thing. It's about running the hotel businesses out there, the restaurant businesses, and event focus. So that's the concentration if you want to go into running a restaurant. If you're interested on the pursuing later on a culinary degree, or if you already come from Cabrillo with a culinary background, then that would make sense to go for that concentration in operations. And the other one, the sustainable destination and tourism management, which I mentioned for those focusing on marketing related positions within the tourism sector, ecotourism, this would be a perfect concentration for those folks. We have internships in the area established. That doesn't mean that a student can't come up with their own idea for an internship. We welcome that, but we already have established so many opportunities that we'd be happy to connect you with. And here you see some of the examples. We have also a program that has been in place for about 7 years now with Pebble Beach during their famous event, the Concordia Elegance, that takes place in August. That's Sunday at the end of Car Week. And our students run the hospitality suites for the major companies that participate in this event. So our students are very proud of running suites for the likes of Rolex, Lamborghini, Maserati, and so on. All the major brands out there represented. Our students run the hospitality suite, and they manage the employees from Pebble Beach, setting the event space, managing the labor, the food items, the beverage, and so on. So they got a really good experience that makes them very, very knowledgeable about how to run a 5-star event in a world famous venue. Education on location, we take our students outside of the classroom. We're known to go to venues on Cannery Row, to go to venues on the Carmel Valley, wineries, for example. We've been to breweries, we've been to bakeries like at Astra. So we really make sure that we connect our students with the local hospitality and tourism community. In terms of careers, let's say you want to work as an event manager for concerts, for sports venues, for, like I said, hotels, restaurants. This is the career path of a typical hospitality student while they're in the university and obviously after graduation. Our goal is to make sure that you have the tools to be a manager after your time with us at CSUMB. If you want to be a wedding planner, a wedding organizer, a wedding manager, where actually you execute the events. People have graduated from our program and become heads of the flower department in major venues here locally, as well as down in Southern California. I'd be happy to share more on that on an individual basis. People have gone and worked in Costa Rica after graduating from our program. And there's interest in people going and seeking opportunities in, for example, Africa, the Caribbean, and that's all possible with a degree in hospitality. We do have a lot of scholarship opportunities that we advertise to our students, and we make sure that they apply. Last week, I was at an event where 7 of our students were honored with a significant scholarship from the California Hotel and Lodging Association. So we went to San Francisco. They were honored at the event. The scholarship included a stay at the local hotel we were at. So really an event to remember. Plus they got a substantial sum, each one of them, for their future here at CSUMB. So obviously we can share this information from the beginning with you, and we encourage you to apply. Our contact for general information about the program can certainly be myself, Angel Gonzalez, or Dr. Paige Viren, and she's our executive director. You have her email here, pviren@csumb.edu. So if you would like, during the question and answer session later on, I'd be happy to tell you more. I'd be happy to share my details. But thank you so much, and thank you for having me here, and I'm excited to talk to you more about it. And
Thank
now
you.
we go to Sharon.
Sure. Wow, how exciting. When I saw those flowers, I'm thinking about the Valentine's, the coming Valentine's. What my husband is going to give me, huh? All right, so I am accounting professor. My name is Sharon Hua. Here today, I am bringing one of my students, Madeline Partida, to share with you what her accounting internship experience was. Before she jump in, I will share with you an exciting news about accounting careers. Let me make sure the chat, there's, okay, no questions. So let me share my screen now. So give me a second. So can you all see my screen? Not yet, right? Oops, sorry about the technology. One more time. All right, you all can see my screen now, right? Cool.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so this is the exciting part of accounting careers. So right now, my students, before they graduate, they can get an internship pay rate between $25 to $40 per hour. Okay, so usually this happens in the summer of your junior year. So while nowadays accounting jobs are in such a high demand, like Madeline, the first semester when she transferred to CSUMB, she got an internship. So after the internship, if you like the firm likes you, then usually at the end of the semester, no, at the end of the summer of junior year, the firm will give you an offer letter saying that 1 year from now, when you get a bachelor degree in your hand, we'd love to hire you as a full-time employee with a pay ranges from $58,000 to $83,000 per year. And that's just Central Coast, our area average pay. If you want to move to San Francisco, San Jose, or Los Angeles, the pay will be 15% higher since the living cost is more expensive there. All right, so this is the first part of exciting news about accounting. Then people will ask, what exactly do accountants do? So here, with accounting degree, typically you have 3 types of accounting careers. You can work for public accounting, you can work for corporate finance, or you can work for financial planning. Public accounting means even though you are hired by one accounting firm, but your supervisor will send you to audit or to do the financial tax planning for all kinds of different industry, all kinds of different businesses. Okay, so for example, Moss Adams is an accounting firm. When you work for Moss Adams, but Moss Adams will send you to audit Taylor Farms. He will send you to audit a construction company or hospitality industry. Audit means you are going to be a detective because in your brain you have all kinds of financial laws, regulations, rules, so you can advise those business clients how they can prepare their financial statements in a fair way that do not mislead investors. The purpose of financial statements is to help investors to make financial decisions. Those publicly traded companies, they trade their stocks in the stock exchanges, and investors do not work inside the company, but they need to make sure whether they can invest Walmart or Target or any other public company stocks, and the financial statements will help them to make the decision. You as an auditor, even though you are working for Moss Adams or CLA, those accounting firms, you will be sent out to audit those big public traded companies' financial statements to make sure their numbers are not lying. Okay. The tax consultant, similarly, because you know the tax law, you may give advices to your client saying that, hey, Ireland has a lower tax rate. Why don't you move your warehouse to Ireland? Or you can say, oh, Arizona has a better tax deduction plan or deduction law for your certain part of the operations. Why don't you move your certain product line to Arizona, etc. Okay, and then nowadays all of the accounting and tax are done through computers, so you can see once you are experienced, you have been working with the systems and computers, and naturally you can advise your clients how they can set up their software and system to make sure all their supply chain, all their operations, computers, softwares, and apps can communicate with each other. And in the end, you can prepare a report to your bosses or to your clients telling them the story of the business. Which part of your operation should cut a cost? Which part of your operations should expand to other area? Okay, so public accounting, you definitely will get to exposed to different industry, different business models. Corporate finance, on the other hand, you only serve for one company's financial statements, one company's taxes. Okay, so you can imagine you don't travel as much as public accounting types of jobs. In the corporate finance, your audience is majorly the employees inside the company. So you are predicting the operations, forecasting the budgets for your supervisors, or ultimately you become the CFO or CEO within the company that supervise all those reports, all those operations. But in the end, you need to have financial knowledge to make financial decisions within the company to make sure the company is going in the right direction. Okay, so public accounting and corporate finance, your audience, your clients are businesses, big corporations. On the other hand, the third type of jobs, financial planning, your clients are individuals. They are people. So they have so much money that they don't know how to deal with it. And with the tax information, with the law information you have, you can go advise them how they can invest their money to save up enough money for their retirement, how they can invest their money in order to save enough for their children's education, etc. The first type, public accounting, will need one license, which is called CPA license, Certified Public Accountant License. Okay, it's a hard test, but it's only one test. Okay, that one big test, which has 4 components in it. The reason why you need the license to do advising in public accounting is because you are dealing with so many publicly traded companies. You need to be qualified by the government. The state government will issue the CPA license, and you will take the exam and then to get certified by the state. Second type of jobs, corporate finance, you generally don't need a license. You can do the job, okay? However, the third type, financial planning, it needs several licenses, not just one. Okay, you will need a license for insurance, you will need a license for real estate, etc. Okay, so that's the general pathways you can pursue after you get an accounting degree. Okay, how can you get those jobs? Well, you need connections. So these are the faces of our graduates. They graduated from CSUMB. Well, the lower 3, Madeline, Diego, Natalie, they are still in our program. They haven't graduated, but they already got full-time job offers from their internships. So now let me turn the stage to Madeline, who already had internship with Moss Adams, one of the big number 10 biggest accounting firms of the nation. And she is currently probably already get another offer from another accounting firm, but I will let her tell you her story about why she chose accounting and her experience with accounting internship. Madeline, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. So I graduated from Cabrillo in 2021, and I was a business major, didn't really quite know what I wanted to do, so I took a break and I just started exploring careers, and I was like, okay, I like business, but I was trying to find the right fit for me, and so I looked into what can I do with numbers, because I'm a big numbers person. And so I started looking into accounting. I did well in my accounting classes at Cabrillo, and I decided that I would attend CSUMB. And my mom, Debbie, actually works for the 2+2 program. I had heard a lot about CSUMB, but she works with CSUMB a lot, and kind of helped convince me to go there. And it's been a really good experience so far. I started in spring last semester, and I ended up with an internship at Moss Adams within the first month. And yeah, it pays really well. And another great thing about CSUMB is as an introvert, I don't really go out and look for opportunities, but Professor Hua actually sends out these opportunities and tells you apply, apply, apply. And so I followed what she said and ended up with an internship. So yeah, and then I entered at Moss Adams this summer. I did a tax internship, and so the main goal of the internship is to find out whether the company is a good fit. And so Moss Adams was really good about, a lot of it was focusing on networking, and so we had a lot of meetings with the partners and seniors and everyone that works there to find out like what we would want to do there and if it would be a good fit, if we like the teams, the work-life balance, stuff like that. And so yeah, what I found working there was that it's not just about crunching numbers all day. There's a lot of teamwork involved as well as independent work, so it's a good mix. And yeah, once we got into the work, I was working with the venture capital team, so I was filling out 1065 partnership forms, and they walked me through the whole thing because I didn't know how to do anything going into the internship really. But yeah, so we would look over the financial statements and pretty much input the information from those into their tax software. And yeah, and then I ended up with a full-time offer as soon as I was done with it. And so there's job security in accounting for sure. And yeah.
Thank you, Madeline. Congratulations.
Yes, for sure. Congratulations. Big clap.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's because of the time, let's let the Dr. Kwong, Professor of Entrepreneurship, to talk about entrepreneurship. Jenny, go ahead.
All right. Thank you for being here, everyone. I'm Jenny Kwan. I am a professor of entrepreneurship and economics. I'm going to be talking about two concentrations. So I'll be talking about management and international business and entrepreneurship. So let me share my screen real quick here. Okay. So management is our biggest concentration. It's got a lot of your basic classes on, principles of management, HR, things like that. We also have international business as part of that. International is just such a great part of business. We think of people who speak more than one language and know another culture as a huge asset. And so I love international business. We have really great classes like nonprofit management. We're starting a sports management class next fall. And so these are some of the classes you can take and some kinds of jobs and careers, all kinds of things. Project management, sports management, HR, etc. And so anything where you have any firm that has more than maybe a half a dozen employees is going to need management. And so this is the kind of coursework and skill that you'll learn, whether it's to work in a big company or to take a family company. Maybe your family has a company, and to really take that to the next level, to grow that and to keep it really current and modern. So this is sort of one of our biggest majors, which is sort of the general management major and international business. And whatever major you do in the business school, you'll be taking a lot of these classes on general management. Okay, the other one I want to talk about is entrepreneurship. And this is, we have classes on how to do startups and venture capital. So Madeline talked about a venture capital practice at her accounting firm. We also have a class on social entrepreneurship. So when you do companies that are focused on the environment or a social goal, that's social entrepreneurship. So we have these kinds of classes. They are really fun classes. They're hands-on. So you do projects in the class, and we take time out of class. So you work on the projects in class. And what I love about entrepreneurship is I think it is the best way to teach about big business. So even though it's small businesses and startups, it is a really great way to understand big business. Everything you have to do to get a technology or a high growth startup to get going is stuff that you will have to do when you're running a big business. So, but when you have a company that's like 3 or 4 people, it's something you can wrap your head around. So I really love entrepreneurship as a way to teach about business. And it's what I think is really important. And here's some of the things you can do that I think is really great. It involves creativity and problem solving, experimentation. And so even if you're not interested in starting a company, which is what we think of as entrepreneurship, you would be super, super valuable to big companies that are innovative. And so I think of this as just being a really important set of knowledge and skills for any career. And the thing that I think is really important to me that you understand is you don't have to major in entrepreneurship or management. What I want you to know is that we have these cool classes, and these are classes that will take your career to the next level. I'm a huge fan of Sharon and her colleagues in accounting. She's absolutely right. And Madeline is absolutely right. These are great jobs. Accounting jobs are awesome. Take entrepreneurship to understand the context of accounting. With that kind of knowledge of the high-level business context and strategy, you can go from controller to CFO. So that's the kind of thing that I think is important for you to take away, is that we have these great classes, and whether you major in them or not, they will add a skill set for you that a lot of colleges don't offer. So entrepreneurship is not offered at all colleges, and we specialize in that here. And I think that it can supercharge your career. One thing that I'm also a huge fan of the hospitality program. One thing that, and they obviously have the funnest classes because we don't go to bakeries or breweries or wineries, and they do. What Angel didn't talk about was he helped one of his students get into culinary school, get a scholarship at culinary school. His student later started his own restaurant. So that is entrepreneurship in action. His students, I've met so many hospitality alumni, and every single one of them is amazing, absolutely a star. So I'm a huge fan of hospitality. I'm a huge fan of accounting, agribusiness. Amato, you're next. big fan. You don't have to major in, management or entrepreneurship, but we are here. We have really great classes that are going to really take your career to the next level, and they don't offer them at most colleges. So that's what I want you to know. And I have one of my students here who is also a transfer student like you, Jonathan Bagley Rowe, who is the president of our entrepreneurship club. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming, and take it away.
That's right. Thank you, Dr. Kwan. I appreciate the invitation to join you tonight. Clearly, I'm an older student, so a lot of what's been expressed already tonight, I'm going to say kind of in reverse. I come to CSUMB with a lot of life experience, a lot of work experience, and I'm learning a lot of the practical background to a lot of the theory that the actions that I've taken in life are based on, and I really enjoyed that. My journey to here started during the pandemic. I am actually a refugee from the hospitality industry. I spent many years as a hotel and restaurant manager, and was looking for an exit ramp. So fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, the pandemic offered me an opportunity to hit the pause button, and I enrolled at Monterey Peninsula College and got my associate's in business degree. And the next logical step was to come to CSUMB. I live here in Monterey, in Marina now, and I love the area and want to stay here hopefully for the rest of my life. So CSUMB was the clear choice for my next step in education. I have really, really enjoyed every interaction I've had with every professor, both when we were strictly online and now that we're back on campus. And the entrepreneurship program. So again, I'm going to do this a little bit in reverse. I picked the entrepreneurship concentration because of my job. So my school didn't necessarily get me an internship. My internship sort of was forging my path at school. I work for a startup company that builds, designs and builds surfboards here in Monterey. We're based in Carmel. I'm employee number one. So it's my job to figure out all of the, policies and procedures, to do all of the financial reporting, all of the accounting, the accounts payable and the accounts receivable. So I hear you accountants out there. You have my heart. I don't want your job. I'm not coming for your job. Hopefully we get to work together in the future when I can afford to hire a full-time accountant. That would be great. But all of the things that we're doing in entrepreneurship are really applied in the real world. That's where, as Dr. Kwan said, where entrepreneurship is a hands-on practice. You have to really get in and get your hands dirty. And the more businesses that you're involved with, if you can go in and do internships, all companies, no matter how big, should be entrepreneurial or they're going to die, right? GE, what GE is doing right now is entrepreneurial. They're inventing new ways of doing financial things, and that's entrepreneurial. Apple is still, forging ahead with new technologies. You're either inventing a new way of doing something or you're going to go out of business. That's it. So come to CSUMB. If you're not destined to be a business major, that's okay. As Dr. Kwan said, come take some business classes, come take some management classes. We have a lot to offer people in every career path. And what we're doing here is can be valuable to you in your career, and your experience bringing that into the College of Business is really valuable to us because we learn as much from you as you do from us.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you. Yeah, then let's hear about Professor Mabol. what does he talk about agriculture business? Professor Mabo, we cannot hear you.
Mute that, Professor, if you have the opportunity to do so.
Can you hear me now?
Now, yes.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about the agribusiness supply chain management. And right now we have this as a 2-year concentration, agribusiness concentration, and by 2025, fall of 2025, the plan is to convert this into a bachelor's program, 4-year program, and it is going to be officially called Agribusiness Supply Chain Management. And because there's a clamor from we live in an ag community, and Angel mentioned a while ago that 2 major industries in our area is hospitality management and agribusiness. And one of the things that ag companies are clamoring for are skills that are needed in ag business supply chain management. And sadly, if you want to major in this particular field, you have to go to ESLO, you have to go to UC Davis. And it would, it would take some time, students have to, go on dorms and, travel a great deal of distance to go to these universities. But why not do it at CSUMB? So the plan was, with the support of the private sector, we are going to come up with a Bachelor of Science in Ag Business Supply Chain Management. And like I said, it's going to be scheduled to be offered in the fall of 2025. What is agribusiness supply chain management? So we know that agriculture is the economic sector that employs the most people in the world. And agriculture is the nation's largest employer with around 28 million jobs. Okay, so an agribusiness supply chain concentration offers more than industry-specific focus, but it emphasizes on physical goods and operations within the ag sector and other fields. And it covers logistics management, procurement, operations, and sustainability. This versatility can be appealing for students exploring different facets of business, okay? And we focus more on perishable logistics because we live in an area where we grow a lot of vegetables and fruits. So it is a perishable logistics expertise is critical and is a gap that companies need to fill, right? Some of the things that students, when they enroll in this program, some of the areas of expertise that they are going to achieve are, number one, transportation, distribution, logistics, food safety and visibility. So imagine yourself, you're not going to be working in farms, but you'll be responsible that in ensuring that the food that goes to your table are safe, free from any type of bacteria, viruses, or any E. coli contaminants that might compromise our health. And also, it's not limited also to logistics and food safety. You also deal with purchasing, procurement, and supplier management. You will be working with suppliers. Part of your job is to work closely with suppliers within the supply chain. And also, a big thing right now is a lot of ag companies are using a lot of technology and robotics in their operations. And part of the expertise that you're expected to learn is integrating technology and robotics. And of course, very important, import-export, managing the global complexities of import and export. So we live in a global economy, and you might actually be working for companies that import food from other countries, or companies that export food to other countries. So that's going to be part of your expertise. Because it's not really easy to, to deal with import and export. I, for one, for many years, way back in the Philippines, when I was still working in the Department of Trade and Industry in the Philippines, I worked for the export sector, and there's a lot of nuances as far as import and export are concerned. And in this particular field, you will actually be given a chance to pretty much take a peek on what happens within the import and export market and import and export operations. And of course, yeah, Angel was mentioning about sustainability. So one of your major expertise would be also sustainability, measuring our carbon footprint. Some of the key players in agribusiness, I'm sure you are familiar with some of these companies. Dole, if you go to the supermarket, you will see these famous brands: Dole Food Company, Driscoll's, Taylor Farms, Man Packing. Then we have Tanimura and Antal, Monterey Mushrooms, Pacific International Marketing, Coastal Sunbelt Produce, Green Giant Fresh, and so on and so forth. There are two pillars of the agribusiness supply chain management. Number one is agribusiness, from the farms to food markets, and also supply chain management, source to the distribution of these ag business products. Okay, so these are some of the things that you will actually be learning when you take the program in agribusiness: ag strategy, credit analysis and finance, ag policy and environment, ag trading and risk management. And as far as supply chain management is concerned, purchasing, sourcing, operations, quality, process, and distribution. So you're not actually limited to working in one particular agricultural farm, but you'll actually be working within the total supply chain, okay? From the source up to the time that the product reaches the end consumers. And these are some of the jobs and some salaries that were researched by one of our professor, Kate Liu. And you can actually see here, in Sacramento County, you have assistant agricultural economist. This is monthly salaries. Associate agriculture economist, senior agriculture economist. Then you have in the logistics area, Taylor Farms. In Santa Maria, berry production intern. So you have the per hour rates. Then procurement coordinator. You have here in Salinas, grower stands planting, business development manager, 116,000 to 154,000 a year. I did mention about quality assurance, Church Brothers here in Salinas, shipping clerk, project manager, quality assurance technicians in Salinas, in Milpitas, in Stockton, and so on and so forth. And again, some more lists, the job and the associated salary connected with the jobs. Some of the students that actually graduated with an ag business concentration are actually working in the following companies with the corresponding titles. So in IBM, entry-level project manager, quality manager for Epic, we have EMC supply chain, and the list goes on. And we also have an agribusiness club. You may want to join. So they have a Facebook account, CSUMB Agribusiness Student Club. So they offer field trips, plant tours, conferences for the members. So if you're interested, you may contact Dr. Sumadur Shakya at sshakya@csumb.edu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Mabul. I think that's all our concentrations today. Do you have any questions for all of us from CSUMB?
I don't have a question. What I do have is a little comment. First of all, CSUMB, you guys are always awesome. Thank you, speakers. Thank you. Something that I would like to mention is that we had this great opportunity to have a tour to CSUMB just last semester, and hopefully we can arrange to have another one for the next term. Because our students really enjoyed it, they learned a lot, and it was fun. And I think the whole process of learning is to have fun, but at the same time, you have to kind of balance it out.
Definitely, yes. We will arrange that.
All right, the students, do you have any questions or comments or a thank you note for a wonderful panel of speakers tonight?
I just want to say thank you very much for all the people who show up and participate and inform us, all that things that we might have in consideration, because it's a lot of help to hear from people who are in the field. Thank you for all the speakers.
Thank you.
I also want to say something. I also want to thank all the speakers for coming out. It really gave me clearance on basically where I want to go now, because they covered different areas and this is so informative. I want to say thank you to the professor and thank you for everyone that organized this meeting, and thank you for the professors that came and gave us all the great information to all of us. Thank you so much.
And also we want to thank Madeline that and those two students from CSUMB. I think it's very inspiring to see that all of us, we go through the process of when we finish, we are just graduating and we're not sure exactly what route to take. And sometimes it's just we need a little push, and we are very lucky to have faculty professors that are willing to take some time and advise us and give us some directions, or maybe just to try. Like Madeline, she was not sure to take more additional courses. She took a break, but then has a wonderful advice from Xuan, and then she decided to continue with her internship in accounting, and now she's having a wonderful job, which will give her more experience, and I'm sure it will open more doors to get more expertise and grow in her career. Thank you very much, Madeline.
Would anybody like to say anything else, students?
I'm thinking that today they're very shy. Madeline, would you like to wrap it up saying some words to our students too?
Well, I'll just say that try not to stress too much about what you're gonna do in school. It took me longer than I wanted to get through Cabrillo and get on the right path, but I got there eventually, and I'm very happy at CSUMB, and I'm happy with the job that I've landed after school. And yeah, I just hope that you all will stick with it and just keep trying. You'll figure it out. And thank you for having me.
Yes, those are wise words. Just keep doing it, keep working it, and then you will find that the right door to success. It's just a matter of persistence.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Madeline.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, Xiaowen, I leave you the last words of wrapping up the event for our session for a Platicats event tonight.
Wow, that's an honor. Well, thank you, all the Cabrillo students. You have the future. It is achievable. Yeah, life is hard. We all know that, but you can get it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your participation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A big clap for our CSUMB faculty, great speakers, and our students speakers also. Have a wonderful evening. And then we see you in a little while. I know that we have to continue class tonight.
All right. You all have a good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Good night.